The most recent episode further demonstrates Sister Wives star Kody Brown's reputation for having strong beliefs about his faith and family values. Following a heated encounter that had fans talking, the TLC patriarch recently met his daughter Aurora's boyfriend, Brody Utley, for the first time. When he sat down with Brody to talk about his expectations and beliefs, the father, who has a total of 18 children, didn't hold back. He has frequently been candid about his protective parenting style. Nonetheless, the discussion offered viewers insight into Kody's perspective as a father adjusting to life following several divorces. However, what did Kody say to Brody specifically? And how did his tough position affect the young couple? To learn more, continue reading. Aurora Brown and her partner, Brody Utley, were already in the news online before they made their sister wives' relationship debut. In September, the couple shared a number of pictures to commemorate their first anniversary. One of those pictures, which had Aurora clutching a weapon next to Brody, garnered attention for an unexpected cause. Therefore, the photograph was published by entertainment writer Katie Paulson, who is well known for her Instagram page Without a Crystal Ball. This sparked a discussion in the comments area. It appears to be AR-15 style. Additionally, there is a suppressor. Does anyone have any information? She captioned, "I'm a little taken aback by this, but I probably shouldn't be." Kody Brown sells AR-15 silencers and ghost kits. Many people criticized her post right once, saying she was unfairly bringing up Kody's past and Aurora's life. But Brody remained composed and replied straight to the post, "Hello ma'am, that gun is mine." It's a suppressor-equipped AR-15, completely legitimate and registered with me. I use it to go hunting and enjoy myself at the shooting range. Supporters praised his calm reaction, describing it as polite and accountable, particularly considering the discussion's speculative tone. In the most recent episode, Sister Wives star Kody Brown finally met his daughter Aurora's boyfriend, Brody. Nonetheless, the patriarch quickly established clear limits. He pulled Brody aside during the family get-together to have a serious conversation about his plans for his daughter. As a result, Kody spoke to cameras about the guidance he gives to young guys who are interested in dating his daughter. He believes it is their responsibility to keep her safe, even from themselves. "You're kissing another man's wife until she's your wife when you're just dating," he said. "You're kissing another man's wife if she doesn't become your wife," the 56-year-old man went on. Brown clarified that his dedication to virginity is the foundation of his views. This, he feels, is why he believes in chastity. "Don't take anything away from them that doesn't belong to you," the TLC performer forcefully admonished. As her father interrogated him, Aurora attempted to lighten the situation by informing producers that Brody was definitely thinking about tactics. "I know how to use knives," he says. "I have mixed martial arts training." "She's fine, sir," she jokingly said. Kody went on to say that his expectations have increased over time, particularly following his 3 divorces with Meri, Janelle, and Christine. He said, "I feel like I'm discriminating more now. It's an entirely different matter. If you believe that the Brown family could not be much more dramatic, you were mistaken." When Kody Brown and Aurora Brown's boyfriend, Brody, had a serious heart-to-heart in a recent Sister Wives episode, tensions reached a fever pitch, and the entire exchange had viewers riveted to their screens. One of the more reserved members of the large multiple family has always been Aurora, the 22-year-old daughter of Kody and his 4th wife, Robyn Brown. However, Kody's protective instincts are kicking in full force now that she's starting a serious relationship, and his strict, occasionally intrusive parenting style is once again being questioned. The conversation, which took place close to the end of the show, was uncomfortable, tearful, and incredibly illuminating. It covered not only Aurora's romantic life but also how much Kody is still finding it difficult to adapt to his evolving family dynamic. Innocently enough, the moment began. After over a year of dating, Aurora, who has mostly avoided the spotlight in comparison to some of her siblings, thought it was time for her father to meet her boyfriend, Brody. Aurora had characterized Brody, a 24-year-old Flagstaff College student and budding musician, as kind, patient, and grounded. "He makes me feel safe and seen," she gushed to her mother, Robyn. Despite acknowledging that she was anxious, Robyn, who has always been very protective of her kids, encouraged Aurora to introduce Brody to Kody. She laughed nervously as she remarked, "Kody can be intense. He struggles to conceal his emotions." Fans saw from once that this match would be special. In an attempt to establish a laid-back first impression, Aurora and Brody invited Kody to a nearby coffee shop. However, the tension was evident as soon as Kody entered the room, sporting his trademark leather jacket and a wary smile. In an obvious attempt to create a positive tone, Aurora gave her dad a firm hug. "It's great to finally meet you, sir," Kody replied courteously as he rose up and held out his hand. "Mister?" Kody laughed and repeated, "Oh no, feel free to call me Kody. Sir, makes me seem older than I actually am." Kody spoke in a nice manner, but his intense gaze conveyed a different message. As he assessed Brody from the other side of the table, fans could almost feel the fatherly skepticism pouring off of him. Kody got right to the point after a little conversation on music, school, and the weather in Flagstaff. Leaning forward, he started, "Aurora says you're getting pretty serious." "What does that mean exactly?" Aurora's gaze expanded. She began, "Dad," but Kody raised a hand. "No, that's a reasonable question," he replied. "I am her dad. I must know what you intend to do." To his credit, Brody didn't recoil. He calmly remarked, "I really care about Aurora. She is an amazing individual. I want to develop a genuine relationship with her, but I'm not in a rush." Kody nodded, but his face remained doubtful. "And how would you define something real?" "For my daughter deserves stability, respect, and a partner who shares her beliefs." Brody gave a courteous smile. "I absolutely concur. I also want that identical thing." Fans took note of Kody's obvious lack of conviction, though, as he crossed his arms. When Kody started discussing his beliefs, the topic changed. Aurora grew up in a completely different type of family, he claimed. "It's possible that not everyone understands our way of life." Brody gave a polite nod. "Mister, I've watched the show. Kody, I have some knowledge of it. However, I admire each and every one of you for being authentic." Kody seemed a little softer after hearing that response. "So where do you stand on faith, on family, on commitment?" he said. "I'm not advocating for several marriages, but I'm curious about your fundamental character." Brody was obviously taken aback by the question. Aurora stirred uneasily. She remarked, "Dad, he's not applying for a job." Kody didn't give up, though. "Maybe not, but I take it seriously when it comes to my daughter's heart." Brody inhaled deeply. "I think dedication, honesty, and loyalty are important. Although my upbringing differs from yours, I believe that everyone may experience love. You both show up, work hard, and develop together." Although Kody gave a careful response, his face was still unreadable. When Kody changed the subject from faith to independence, the tension really started to build. He remarked, "Aurora's been through a lot. Not every man is able to cope with my family's more than 10 years in the spotlight. Are you prepared for millions of people to criticize your relationship?" Brody paused. "We have discussed that," he stated. "I'll support her even though it's difficult. TV and celebrity don't matter to me. All I care about is her." Kody crossed his arms once again and leaned back. "Good response. However, I would like to know how you intend to lead in this relationship. Because my daughters are entitled to guys who are proactive and capable of providing for them." Fans let out a collective gasp at that point. Aurora's cheeks flushed. Her voice wavered as she asked, "Dad, really? This is not how you have to test him." But Kody was having a good time. He declared, "I'm not testing him. I'm being honest. These days, far too many young guys lack a sense of responsibility. They believe that love is only about feelings and not deeds. I want to make sure he doesn't belong to that group. I believe that relationships should be equal partnerships," Brody said, seeming uncomfortable. "I don't think one individual should take the lead over another. What matters is that we help one another." Kody's expression tightened at that point. "What about an equal partnership?" he remarked. "That's modern jargon for not taking command." At home, viewers almost yelled at their displays. On X, a viewer wrote, "Kody, the year is 2025. Being an equal partner does not imply being weak." Aurora finally lost it when she saw her partner being criticized. "Dad, stop it," she exclaimed, her eyes brimming. "You're not being reasonable. Brody has been respectful at all times. You're acting as though he's here to rob me or something." There was silence throughout the coffee shop. Kody seemed surprised by his daughter's unexpected reaction. "I don't want to dominate you," Kody answered quietly. "I only wish to keep you safe." Aurora dabbed at her eyes. "You can trust me to keep me safe. You brought me up to be intelligent. I am aware of what I am doing. Not just for Kody but also for viewers who have followed Aurora's development since she was a bashful adolescent. That moment was powerful. It was both devastating and motivating to watch her advocate for herself." Robyn's confessional later in the episode included her thoughts on the encounter. She stated cautiously, "I believe Kody's heart was in the right place. He has a deep affection for Aurora. However, his method of expressing that affection can occasionally come out as a bit too forceful. She acknowledged that she had forewarned Kody not to question Brody. "Let her naturally introduce him," I advised him. "Do not frighten him away." But it's difficult to stop Kody once he becomes protective. As Robyn described Brody as a sweet young man who genuinely cares about Aurora, she also acknowledged that she liked him. She went on to say, "I think what Kody really needs is to realize that our kids are now adults. They can fall in love without permission. All they require is assistance." Aurora told producers she was emotionally drained, but proud of herself after the meeting. She declared, "I love my dad. However, he still views me as a young child. I believe he finds it difficult to comprehend that I am an adult with free will." For his part, Brody accepted the encounter. "I understand," he said. "He is her father. He is expected to be guarded. I only hope that eventually he would realize that I am here for the right reasons." Support for Aurora and Brody quickly flooded social media. One observer said, "She handled that like a queen. Kody needs to relax and understand that his daughters are people, not just property." "Congratulations to Brody for maintaining composure," another commented. "The majority of men would have left midway through that grilling." Kody seems to acknowledge that he might have gone too far by the end of the episode. "I came a little strong," he said in his confessional. "But it's because I've already lost a lot of things, including my marriages and my family's cohesiveness. I'm terrified of losing my daughter's trust." His voice grew softer as he hesitated. "Perhaps I should practice listening more. She is no longer my little daughter. She is a woman figuring out who she is." It was one of the rare times that Kody's admirers witnessed his true fragility, a side that served as a reminder that despite his ego and intensity, he is still a father attempting, frequently in vain, to provide for his children. By the end of the concert, Aurora and Brody were seen holding hands and laughing while taking a stroll together. "I know my dad loves me, but I also know I have to live my life," Aurora said. "I can't let his concerns guide my judgments." In the meantime, Kody told Robyn he seems like a good kid, while taking some time to think at home. "I'll grant him that. Perhaps I was too harsh with him." Robyn gave a soft smile. "Perhaps a bit," she responded, "but you'll have another opportunity. Kody, just let love happen." And Kody nodded in that infrequent poignant moment, which might have marked a sea change in his constantly changing role as a father. The Browns navigating the intricate web of faith, family, and independence has long been a source of fascination for fans.